I've been a fan of Vaporwave since hearing Luxury Elite and St. Pepsi's Late Night Delight in high school. Since then, I've adored the wonderful escapism provided both by Vaporwave music and visuals. Vaporwave seems to invoke feelings of nostalgia by immersing the listener in a dreamy, hypnagogic state. Though many are likely familiar with Macintosh Plus's Flower Shop or the infamous Simpson Wave edits, Vaporwave is considered by many to be dead. Vaporwave being dead, however, is limited to the lack of satirical Vaporwave edits of pop culture items that can be found on internet meme pages today. When it comes to Vaporwave art, music, videos, and even games, Vaporwave is still alive and well, and along with that, so is escapism. Vaporwave, for the uninitiated, is a subgenre of music that to an outsider can be summed up as abandoned mall music, elevator music, or slowed down and distorted 90s pop tracks. The genre started off as an offshoot of the popular subgenre chill wave and gained a cult following with works such as Chuck Person's Echo Jams, Eco Virtual's Atmospheres, Blank Banshee's Zero, and the aforementioned Macintosh Plus's Flower Shop, just to name a few. Although not as popular as it once was in mainstream internet culture, the subgenre still retains a cult following on Reddit, which spans multiple subreddits. All listeners experience Vaporwave differently. Some prefer certain subgenres of the subgenre itself, such as mallsoft, future funk, and faux utopian. For me, the ultimate Vaporwave experience entails popping a Vaporwave cassette into a cassette recorder and listening on the built-in speaker for optimal distortion, which is possible because most modern Vaporwave artists print their music on cassettes. This dreamy auditory trance is usually accompanied by turning out the lights and looking at Vaporwave visuals I have saved on my computer from Vaporwave aesthetics, Vaporwave art, or watching commercials from the 90s with no volume on while I let the music and visuals completely immerse me. To me, this kind of experience is blatant escapism, and few other things isolate me from the world with the same intensity. I thought this was the ultimate way to experience true Vaporwave immersion and escapism, and then I played Verlet Swing. Verlet Swing's gameplay consists of one mechanic, swinging. Players tether themselves to an anchor point in a level and use the directional buttons to influence their momentum. The concept is simple, yes, but it requires a learning curve. The game is by no means difficult, but mastering the swinging mechanics will take time and practice. The game can be completed in a multitude of ways, with many shortcuts and levels that can be used by more skilled players or in repeat playthroughs. Levels can take seconds to complete in theory, but the difficulty and hazards of some levels can require hundreds of redos. In concept, this sounds redundant, but with the R key acting as a reset button and instant respawns upon death, the game entices you to give the level just one more go. The effort put into becoming well versed in the game's mechanics makes it extremely satisfying to swing through levels with ease. Verlet Swing features a minimalist and ambient soundtrack by Victor Zerd that helps engross the player into the game. However, I've found that if a level needs to be repeated many times, the game's soundtrack may grow tiresome to some players. In my opinion, the best way to be fully engrossed in Verlet Swing's virtual jungle gym is by turning down the music all the way in the settings and playing some of your favorite Vaporwave music in the background. I'll of course provide some suggestions at the end of this video for some of my personal picks. Anyways, experiencing the game in this way is where Verlet Swing truly shines. While playing the game, I was engrossed. Although dying is stressful in other games, dying feels fair in Verlet Swing. The momentum and physics are uniform from level to level, and the only thing stopping you from beating a level are your own misinputs. The movement mechanics are simple, but they're not clunky. Other Vaporwave-inspired games, such as Car Quest for the Switch, feature great-looking visuals but clunky controls that break the immersion of the game. By creating a satisfying and fun-to-use movement mechanic, Verlet Swing encourages players to be engrossed in the game itself instead of worrying about controls and frustration. Complete escapism is hard to pull off. To me, escapism in video games entails forgetting that I'm even playing a game at all. Verlet Swing excels at this. The mechanics are extremely fluid and they become second nature after about a half hour of playtime. The game's visuals consist of some traditional levels with Greek imagery such as pillars and statue heads, pretty typical for Vaporwave, to other levels consisting of pizza and even toilets. Levels are distinct and do not look samey, but they retain a uniform Vaporwave aesthetic art style for the game's entirety. Verlet Swing's visuals and music, whether in-game or personally chosen, combined with the free sense of flying, all seep together to create a pure entity that blurs the line between art and video games. Whether visual art or game, however, Verlet Swing is pure escapism and pure fun, and I'll keep coming back to it.
The bitter is more than the sweet. of the